Hey team, what's going on? Just wanted to come at you live with a little quick update. I got some life updates I'll throw at you. Just kidding. It's a little thing that happened yesterday when I was skateboarding with my son. Um, I'm also closing on investment property in the Tampa Bay area, Hillsborough County, Florida. Closes tomorrow. We got that property at the end of February at a tax deed auction. We did the quiet title action, got the property cleaned out, suited up by a handyman, put it on the market with a real estate agent. They brought us an over asking offer. We've gone through all the process. It is now closing tomorrow. HOA company sends what's called an estoppel certificate, which shows any fees that are due from the current owner prior to closing, and it also shows that the new buyers or new owners are approved to live in the community, so forth. Something that they do just as a standard process. However, what's not standard is the person we bought this property from was actually the county. And the county sold it because the owner of the home wasn't paying their property taxes. They weren't paying their property taxes because they're not assessable. They're not around to do so, okay? So the county was never going to see that money unless they sold the property. They did sell the property. Great. Now it's our time to close. And the HOA company says, before you close, you have to clear up all these delinquent HOA dues as well. It's like $6,400 plus a $400 fine for a grill that was left on the patio prior to us taking ownership. So it was a good try. The answer is always no unless you ask. So I applaud them for asking. But it's not the way it works. There's a surplus funds factor in many states, but Florida being one of them, in which anybody that holds a lien or debt on the property can go obtain those funds in order of the debt or the lien through the county. And they have to apply through the county or acquire through the county on how to get this surplus funds. Well, any HOA fees, anything that was not liened, if there wasn't a lien placed against those past due fees prior to this tax deed auction, well, those fall off. It's just the law. I can show you a document that I used. Let me see if I have it out right now. I do. So let me share this with you really quickly. HOA lien release. They don't have a lien on it, but I'm sending this to them because of a couple of things. First and foremost, let's look at the fact that we'll exit out of this for you so we can just get a bigger one. There you go. Okay. Florida statute 197.552. Except as specified provided in this chapter, no right, interest, restriction, or other covenant shall survive the issuance of the tax deed, except that of a lien recorded and held by a municipal or county government. Okay, so that's like an IRS lien or a county lien, something like that. Florida statute 197.573, number 2, survival of restriction and covenants after the tax sale. This section shall apply to the usual restrictions and covenants limiting the use of the property, the type, the character, and the location of the building, and covenants against nuances in what the former parties deem to be undesirable conditions. But this section shall not protect covenants creating any debt or lien against or upon the property. So that would be an HOA fee being a covenant. There's a book that I'm reading, America's Frozen Neighborhoods, and I actually just went through a chapter that talks about, we call them HOAs, which is the real name, but there's also something called a COCR, and that's a community of registration, and I can find it. I'll bring this up another time. A common interest community. The developer of a common interest community compels each purchaser to become a member of a private homeowners association and pay periodic assessments to that entity. That's what a covenant would be. Okay, beyond that, we're going to come to cricket props, cricket properties, cricket props. Down in Nassau Point, they said under those two sections, liens for unpaid homeowners assessments do not survive the issuance of a tax deed and are extinguished. And they won that case. Number 4, the Lunoha investments says those two sections we just quoted above extinguish any covenants that create a lien or requires a grantee to expend money for any purpose for debts that preceded prior to the issuance of the tax deed. No problem. A to Z Properties versus Condominium Association expands the court's reasoning in the above two court cases we just talked about to the condominium statutes in order to confirm past due condominium assessments are also extinguished by the tax deed sale. So all we did is take care of that, send that over. They removed the $6,400. Of course they would have taken the $6,400 if we would have paid it to them. But that's just not the right way. It's not the process. They got to do it the right way, just like we did it the right way. So now they are, and we get a profit just like we expected. That's great. And I wanted to share that with you. Now, what happened to my hand? I was skateboarding yesterday with my son, like I said. Got stuck on the coping. I fell down, and I dislocated my finger very badly. So bad that the bone protruded out of the skin, and I had to go get it repaired all day yesterday. So here's a picture my wife took of me while we were in the ER. I hope you can see that. I hope that's big enough. Let's see if I can zoom in on it. I can't. Sorry. It says currently in the ER with the severely broken finger. Not broken, it's just dislocated. Still taking business calls though. And that's me on the phone just doing had a sales call. So wanted to share that with you guys. I'll be in this cast for 6 to 8 weeks, maybe actually a hard cast because I have to go to a hand specialist and they're going to fix it, and then I'll be back. So my typing will be a little slower. I'm going to be using a lot of voice to text, so you may get a lot of misspelled words, and I apologize about that. But bear with me. I'm still working. I'm still helping.